This is the second round of the European qualifiers for the FIBA World Cup in China next summer. We are in Group I, the first game for these two teams in Group I. These two teams formerly in Groups A and B respectively. In the first round of the European qualifiers, which consisted of 3 windows, we are now in the 4th window of 6 overall. And I know these fans in the stands have been waiting a long time for this one, especially the Latvian fans. If you recall, these two teams faced off in the quarterfinals of the Eurobasket 2017 last summer in what many describe as the most exciting game at the Eurobasket in many, many years, with Slovenia coming out on top 103-97. Obviously, that Latvian team featured the likes of Kristaps Porzingis, Davis and Darius Bertans, who will not be playing today, but they will have a couple of guys that were on that team, including Janis Tima and Janis Strelnieks, who comes in averaging 27 points per game in the European qualifiers. Meanwhile, for the visitor Slovenians, you see them there being introduced. A couple of familiar faces as well. Jasper Vidmar, for one, who comes in as the leading scorer in the European qualifiers for this team, 16 points per game, as well as Ido Muric, Vlatko Kančar, and then Anthony Randolph making his return to the Slovenian national team in his first action of these European qualifiers. Slovenia comes in ranked number 7 in the world, currently in the world of FIBA, but only have 2 wins and 4 losses throughout their first 6 games of the European qualifiers. All that being said, they have qualified for the second round and will look to right the ship as you see Giannis Blooms being introduced for Latvia. Meanwhile, Latvia comes in ranked 16th in FIBA, 4 wins and 2 losses at this current stage. We'll look to add to that here tonight at home. Coach Vekvagars, who had a tough job to fill in the shoes of the coaches from last summer, but he's used a lot of the players who featured in the Eurobasket, including Tima, Bloom, Strelnieks, Skelet, Razulis, Zakis, and Myers. But Janis Tima will be playing his first game of the qualifiers, number 10. Star player for Olympiacos, formerly of Baskonia. But we will take a pause in the commentary for the national anthem for both teams. So we are now just a few minutes away from tip-off here in Group I. And Slovenia find themselves in a tough position at the bottom of the group with 2 wins and 4 losses. Obviously, it's a very, very tough group alongside Spain, Turkey, Latvia, Montenegro, and Ukraine. As you see the referees for today's game, Tolga Sahin from Italy, Nicolas Mastre from France, and Gentian Cici from Albania. And these are 2 teams in different forms. Obviously, Slovenia, a lot of momentum after last summer's victory at the Eurobasket, but coming into this game, they have 3 consecutive losses. As we take a look at their roster, you see Anthony Randolph making his return, number 00. And of course, the big man inside, Gasper Vidmar, but they're definitely going to count on Chanchar to be the playmaker that he can be. Obviously, no Goran Dragic, no Luka Doncic, and no Prepelic as well. You see starting 5, Rebic, Muric, Lapornik, Vidmar, and Cebacek will be counted on. Meanwhile, for Latvia, they definitely are experiencing some good form after finishing in second in Group B of the first round. You see there Giannis Tima. They are coming in with 3 consecutive victories over Ukraine, Sweden, and Turkey. So you see their roster. Giannis Strelniks, the guy to look out for, the point guard, number 13. In those last 2 games in June and July, 26.5 points per game, putting on an absolute offensive show. So we take a look at the Latvian starting 5. Silins, Tima, Strelnieks, Ate, and Myers inside. So Arena Riga will be booming here tonight. As you see Randolph getting a couple shots off, but these Latvian fans are very passionate about their basketball, as well as these Slovenian fans. Both countries had troops of fans in the stands in Istanbul last summer. And we'll see if Slovenia can turn things around here, pick up their 3rd win, obviously in the second round of the qualifiers. The 3 highest placed teams from each group, so a total of 12 teams, will qualify for the FIBA Basketball World Cup. And this second round consists of 3 windows, taking place naturally now in September, and then again in November 2018, and finally in February 2019. 2 games in each window. And those results, combined with the results from the first round, which do carry over, will dictate which 12 European teams qualify for the World Cup in China. Spain currently sitting at the top with 6 wins and no losses. Turkey 4 wins and 2 losses, tied with Latvia in terms of points, but Turkey ahead on point differential. Meanwhile, Montenegro and Ukraine are both at 3 wins, 3 losses. You see their coach Trifunovic for Slovenia, who had a tough task of replacing Igor Kokoshkov, who went off to the Utah Jazz and is now the head coach of the Phoenix Suns. Meanwhile, for Latvia, we see Coach Bek Vagars stepping in. He had a tough job as well as Coach Bagatskis stepped down after what was a very, very good run. So these players now getting ready for the opening tip. Of course, these 2 teams will be back in action in a couple of days. Slovenia will host Turkey on Monday evening in another big matchup. Meanwhile, Latvia will head over to Madrid for another big game against Spain. But before all that, we have tonight's action, Latvia and Slovenia. Anthony Randolph seems to be coming off the bench. Of course, the Real Madrid star, forming a formidable tandem with Luka Doncic, both at club and country levels. See there, Čepiček stepping into the starting lineup. And we expect it to be another hotly battled contest. Two great shooting teams, but also offensively doing a great job of moving the ball. And we are live and underway with Gasper Vidmar securing the tip for Slovenia, the first possession. And we have an early whistle as the game clock did not start. Basket will not count. Again, starting five for Latvia: Artis Atet, Martins Myers, Ojar Silids, Janis Strelnieks, and Janis Tima. Meanwhile, Slovenia: Jacob Čepiček, Michal Lapornik, Edo Muric, Matic Rebic, and Gasper Vidmar. So possession will stay with Slovenia here as they've just adjusted the clock. You see Myers and Vidmar battling already for position. The Italian referee giving his orders to the table, make sure that these issues don't continue to happen throughout the game. And it will be interesting to see who steps up for Slovenia in this game scoring-wise. Obviously, Vidmar can be depended on inside, and Kanchar as well, but he does tend to be passive at times. And we are back. Vidmar at the top of the key, hands it off. Lapornik, and offensive foul on Vidmar, illegal screen set. And you can see it brings a smile to the face of Vidmar. He is definitely known as a strong man, sets some pretty hard screens. That one considered illegal. Here's Tima on Latvia's first offensive possession. Strelnieks turns the corner. Atet catch and shoot three, no good. And Vidmar secures the rebound. So Rebic will run the point guard show here. And a tough pass inside. Muric couldn't quite deliver it to Vidmar. So two early turnovers for Slovenia in the first couple of possessions. Strelnieks will typically run the show for Latvia. Pulls into a three, and it's good. First shot of the game for Janis Strelnieks. Drops, and it's an early 3-0 lead. You see the nice screen there from Myers. Vidmar didn't step up to contest. Lapornik over to Muric, looking to turn the corner, not much space. Good help side defense, and Silic deflects it out of bounds. So Rebic will inbound it. Here's Vidmar, nice spin move, and an early dunk for Gasper Vidmar. That's why he leads his team in scoring. Tremendous footwork and a powerful finish right at the basket. Gasper Vidmar with the first basket for Slovenia. Here's Tima, gets away with the travel. A long three, in and out for Tima. And the foul will go against Silic. Looking to get an offensive rebound. Janis Tima, one of the most athletic players in Europe. If you see it again, that dunk after the spin move from Vidmar. And a three-pointer, long shot that time for Čepiček, no good. And here's Strelnieks now. Finds a little space. And nice feed inside to Myers. But a foul is called. I believe it's going to be on Rebic. So Strelnieks able to penetrate down the middle. So Basin out of bounds. I'd say over to Strelnieks. Again, another three from the top of the key. This time no good. And Silic unable to secure the rebound. Good hustle from both sides. Rebic, everyone's on the ground now. Ends up in the hands of Vidmar. And now Muric catch and shoot three. That's too strong. And the ball will go off of Slovenia over to Latvia. So good hustle in the early going from both teams. With just 2 field goals to show for it. Take another look here. The ball did seem to strike Shevchik as he was out of bounds. There's Tima now on the block. Oh, fine, looking for the cutter. It's deflected out of bounds by Lapornik. 12 seconds on the shot clock for Latvia. So Timo will look to inbound. Catch and shoot, Silic for three. Again, no good. And another foul as Vidmar, who is a tough man to climb over on the box out, able to draw another foul on the rebound, that time on Myers. So Myers picks up his first foul. Shevchik looking for Rebic. Good denial defense from Ate. You see the good ball pressure as well. Here's Lapornik. Shevchik looking to create space, not much. Good defense from Latvia on this possession. Rebic has to pull up a long fadeaway three, and it's going to be an air ball and a shot clock violation. So you hear the applause from the fans, a good defensive stand that last time from Latvia. And Slovenia struggling to get good shots here. Strelnieks to the screen from Myers. It's Ate for three, wide open, it's good. 2 threes now for Latvia on the board. Good execution to free up Arthurs Ate. Here's Lapornik. Oh, strip away from Strelnieks. And we're gonna have a foul in the backcourt. Not an intentional. So some good defense again from Latvia. Ate able to get the steal. And Lapornik picks up the foul, prevents the fast break. And you see again the three-pointer from Ate in the last possession. Oh, nice fade. Strelnieks can't hit that three, but it's tipped out by Silic. And a new possession for Latvia. Strelnieks in and out dribble. Whistle blows. And we're gonna have a foul before the shot. Take another look at it here as Myers sets the screen and Rebic will be called for the foul. Looking to fight through that screen. Catch and shoot, quick shot that time for Silic, no good. So Latvia happy to take a lot of threes. As Rebic out of the game. Rupnik in for the first time. And a nice bank shot from Rupnik, taking no time whatsoever to get into this game and get his first basket. Oh, nice strip. And oh, what a chase down block from Tima. Muric was a little bit too lackadaisical there. Had a clean sight of the basket. Tima chases him down. Here's Strelnieks now. Probing. And a foul before the shot. Going to be called on Rupnik. We'll take another look here as Muric gets a nice steal. And wasn't quite sure whether he was going to dunk it or lay it in. Tima not giving up on the play. Perfectly times the block. You see it slaps it off the front of the rim there. Giannis Tima, we talked about his athleticism. Former dunk contest champion of the Russian league. And here's Myers at the free throw line as he goes 2 for 2 to double up the Latvian lead. Oh, nice screen there in the backcourt for Lapornik. Muric. Rupnik. Nice pass, and Vidmar throws it down right over Myers. So you see the beautiful pass there from Rupnik and a strong finish from Vidmar. Rupnik sees the help man come over and does the right thing, just finding Vidmar diving to the basket as Anthony Randolph, you hear the boos. Randolph did get into a little bit of an altercation at the Eurobasket against Latvia last summer before fouling out. So these Latvian fans welcoming him to the Arena Riga. Here's Strelnieks now. He does a nice job himself finding the big man diving to the hoop, and Myers lays it up with the left hand. So Strelnieks, once again, V-floor general for this team. And we have a off-the-ball foul as Grazulis, number 24, Andres Grazulis, checked into the game and fouls Anthony Randolph, who was looking to dive to the basket. So Slovenia managing just 6 points here in the first 5 minutes plus of the first quarter. And here's Rupnik. Lapornik catch and shoot three, in and out. Tima with the rebound and showcasing a little bit of ball handling. Kicks it out, three-pointer. No good that time for Lomas, who's just checked into the game. And another foul by Grazulis. Vidmar doing a phenomenal job of just boxing out and drawing fouls. The second foul on Grazulis is just a matter of seconds, as Lapornik will check out of the game for a breather. And that's going to bring in Mesicek. We haven't seen Chanchar yet. And the first shot, no good for Mesicek, who just checked in. Once again, not gun shy. Strelnieks stepped into the shot. He looked too strong. And two Slovenians battle for the rebound, ends up with Muric. Here's Rupnik. A little bit of room, pulls up for three. It's good. Luka Rupnik, his second field goal. And he's made a very positive contribution since coming to the game. There's Tima now, catch and shoot three himself, can't respond, and Grazulis will be called for his third foul as he cleared out Randolph, fighting for that battle, fighting for that position on the rebound. So Grazulis with a frustrating start here in the early minutes, and he'll have to come back out of the game with those three fouls, which brings Silic back into the game. Meanwhile, Ronald Zatkis also making his first appearance, as well as Skele. You see him there. Agar Skele, number 21, the 6'4" point guard. And Randolph will step to the free throw line. So first one no good, much to the pleasure of these fans. And again, not enough can be said about Anthony Randolph's role last summer in helping the small nation of Slovenia secure their first Eurobasket championship. Randolph doing a great job inside and out as Skele leaves. He's left wide open for three, can't finish. Randolph with the rebound. Rupnik, a bit of a mismatch, and Wide open was Zagorac. He can't hit the three. Here comes Latvia. You see Latvia 2 for 9 from 3. Slovenia 1 of 5. So both teams cold from the outside so far. Skele. Another 3 for Silinch. And again in and out. So the iron unkind here so far in the first quarter. Both teams struggling from the field. And Skele will call for the foul, which sends Rupnik to the free throw line. Rupnik already with 5 points, leading the way here for both teams as Chanchar, number 31, in the game for the first time. So Rupnik at the free throw line. So he goes 2 for 2, does Rupnik. Rupnik, who's played in every game in the European Qualifiers, has been averaging 6 points per game, 88% from the free throw line, and wide open, the dunk from Zakis. Beautiful delivery from Tima, off the dribble, bounce pass, pocket pass, and Zakis left wide open. Rupnik looking for the foul, no call. Skele aggressive on defense. Oh, nice fake. Chanchar can't just shoot corner 3, no good. Zagorac able to secure the offensive rebound. Slovenia resets. Here's Randolph. He'll shoot a 3 now. Just a little short. And another offensive rebound. That time it's Mesicek. So numerous chances here for Slovenia. Rupnik from way outside, no good. And another offensive rebound. He fourth a chance now. Chanchar will draw the foul. Strelnieks. As you see, Strelnieks not too happy with that one. Coach Vegbagars also kind of pleading his case. So Strelnieks will come out of the game. And Giannis Blooms checks in for the first time. So we've seen a lot of bodies here already in the first quarter for both teams. And Chanchar gets his first point. So 10 players already making an appearance for Latvia. And we still have more than a minute to go in the first quarter. Meanwhile, 10 players as well for Slovenia. So both coaches going to their benches. Tima, he's short on a 3. Oh, nice strong take from the lefty, but you can see the young Blas Mesicek not quite strong enough to finish at the basket. Here's Zakis now. Quick lefty jump hook is good. And Zakis making a nice contribution here off the bench. You see it, catch and release. So we're tied at 14 once again. Here's Rupnik. Nice crossover dribble. Chanchar thought about it. And they're going to say that he stepped out of bounds. We can see Coach Trifunovic wondering where the foul was. Seemed that Tima might have knocked him off balance. So 34.6 seconds left here. A couple more possessions in the first quarter. Here's Blooms. Skillet Nice pro hop, and Skellett gets all the way to the rim for the layup off the glass. Tough move that time from Agar Skellett. And another backcourt foul will go against Latvia, sending Slovenia back to the free throw line. But let's take another look at this Skellett finish. Gets around two defenders. And Misicek will step to the free throw line for the first time. See the young lefty hits the first free throw. Misicek, just 21 years old, 6'6" shooting guard. Goes 2 for 2. So we are tied yet again with Latvia having one more opportunity to end the first quarter with the lead. Strelnieks gets around, and Chanchar commits what many could simply describe as a silly foul, as there were no fouls to give. And that will send Strelnieks to the free throw line. Strelnieks, who hasn't missed a free throw in the European qualifiers, but we'll have a first timeout of the night before he gets the chance to take those free throws. So in the early going, Latvia shooting 6 for 18, 33%, relatively cold, but Slovenia actually shooting worse, 4 for 15, just 27%. Fortunately for Slovenia, they've got 5 bench points as well as 7 to 8 from the free throw line. Also, early rebounding advantage, 14 of 8 to Slovenia. So you can tell both teams trying to find their groove. Again, they haven't been in action in a while. Latvia's last game in July was a victory. Again, they won their last 3 games. See Zagorac. With Slovenia losing in July to Montenegro and in June to Spain. Before that, another loss to Belarus in February. So their last win as a national team came way back against Montenegro in February. Meanwhile, the last loss, as Strelnieks missed the free throw, the last loss for Latvia was against Ukraine, also on the 23rd of February. And 3 wins since then. So Strelnieks, one more chance to give Latvia the lead, does just that. And he'll come back out of the game as Ate in for defensive purposes. Misicek looking for room, takes a long double clutch 3. No good, and that'll be the end of the first quarter as Latvia has the 1-point lead in what's been a very tight game so far. Neither team really able to create any separation. So 17-16, Latvia over Slovenia after 1. So after 10 minutes, once again, you see the stats are not too pretty so far. Slovenia doing more of their damage inside the arc. They are 7 for 8 from the free throw line, so you want to ignore that particular stat on there. But take a look at some of the highlights of the first quarter. Strelnieks got things off to a quick start with a 3. Vidmar is doing damage inside. So far, Strelnieks leads the way with 4 points for Latvia. Myers also 4 points. Zakis also with 4 points. On the other end for Slovenia, Rupnik, who came in for Rebic, had a nice impact. Again, this is probably the play of the quarter. Giannis' team has big block. But Rupnik, 7 points on 2 of 3 shooting. Also a beautiful assist to Vidmar. So we expect things to pick up here in the second quarter forward. And again, Latvia, obviously, as you see, Latvia honoring one of their former players. That was Kristaps Janicinoks, the 6'5" shooting guard, getting a nice applause. Janicinoks, who played his last basketball for Latvia at the Eurobasket. The 35-year-old had a exciting career for Latvia, which ended up with a lot of ups. So Janicinoks rewarded for his time with the Latvian national team. And now we get a chance to see, obviously, the current generation and the next generation of Latvian players in action. As the second quarter is now underway, Strelnieks back into the game. And Skelet, nice catch up from Blooms. Here's Zakis, goes right at Vidmar, and he flexes on him. You see Zakis again, 3 of 3 from the field. Leading the way for Latvia with 6 points. Here's Randolph now. Gets to the elbow, tough shot. Vidmar there for the offensive rebound. And he picks up the foul on Zakis. And you see a little bit of trash talking there between the players. Zakis not too pleased, seemed to have caught an elbow. You see Vidmar and Randolph comes in kind of after the play. I do believe Randolph doesn't mind his role as the villain in many of these games. Again, young player had a stint with the Golden State Warriors and New York Knicks before coming over to Europe, and has really found a tremendous place for himself in European basketball. So first free throw is good for Vidmar, second one is off, and Slovenia back down 2. Here's Skelet, another strong drive. Chanchar might have got a hand on that one. And Rupnik still in the game as Rebic has 2 fouls. Here's Randolph, throws it away. Transition opportunity, 2-on-2 here. Skelet finds Giannis Blooms, catch and shoot 3 is good. Blooms knocked down the 3 in transition. You see Skelet drew the defense in, kicked it back outside, and Blooms happy to take the long shot. And here's Rupnik, tight space, reverse layup, no good. And Blooms, he's definitely strong for a guard, secures the defensive rebound. Strelnieks now. Latvia with a little bit of momentum. Skelet, nice in and out dribble, gets into the lane. Zakis couldn't quite finish. And we're gonna have a pretty tough foul there in the backcourt on Blooms as Rupnik tried to escape dribble behind the back, but lays out, ends up flat out on his back. Take another look here. Rupnik kind of runs into Blooms, might have accentuated the contact just a little bit. So Rupnik comes out of the game. Rebic back in. Rebic with a tough start, no points, a couple turnovers and a couple fouls. Oh, nice backdoor cut. And a nice find that time from Rebic for Misicek. And Misicek gets his first field goal. Strelnieks gets a pick from Myers. Another pick from Myers. And Myers, pick and roll action, works out. See the nice little float shot that time from Myers. So both teams look a little bit more fluid on offense here in the second quarter. Ribic. There's a mismatch inside. Vidmar got Strelnieks on him. See the Latvian defense offering help. Randolph, corner three, nice pump fake. Draws a foul, no shot. So possession will stay here with Slovenia. Good ball movement and good action as well that time from Slovenia. Second foul there against Silic. High-low action, and Randolph couldn't quite secure a hard pass from Vidmar. It's the right idea, just poorly executed. So Latvia up 5. Again, a little issue there with the game clock not starting, as well as the shot clock. So they'll take just a few more moments here to sort it out. Obviously, a lot of these Latvian players play their basketball here in Latvia, whether for Ventspils or VAF Riga. See Grizulis plays for Riga as well as Ate. Meanwhile, Zakis, Lomash over at Ventspils. And here's Skele now of Riga. So didn't have to travel far for this home game. Strelnieks from Olympiakos finds Skele to three. No good. Battle for the rebound ends up in Metacek hands. Chance to run here for Slovenia. Randolph takes another turnover, kickball from Chanchar to slow down the fast break, but Randolph is a little bit sloppy here in the second quarter, and that's going to bring take Randolph out of the game. Again, these fans letting him hear it. You see, it wasn't quite able to control it, and then Strelnieks able to poke the ball away. So Čebuček back into the game for Slovenia. Strelnieks gets into the lane. Strong take. Janis Strelnieks all the way to the rim for the lay-in. And Latvia now with their biggest lead of the game with 7. Here's Mesicek. See Slovenia, a lot of standing around in this possession. Chanchar, corner three. He's able to knock it down. Big shot that time from Chanchar to just slow down this Latvian run. But Latvia having a much easier time of getting uncontested shots. Here's Tima now. You see Slovenia in a zone. Skele for three. He can't respond. Chanchar's three. Slovenia comes back the other way. So we saw a 2-3 zone look that time defensively from Slovenia. Rebic looking for Vidmar. Skele has a help side defense. Metacek has to do something with it. Gets into the lane. Little contact, no foul called. It's the second time that Metacek has been knocked off balance getting to the basket. Here's Myers looking to go right at Vidmar. Tall task. Skele keeps his dribble alive. Oh, beautiful move. Igar Skele just always keeps his dribble alive, gets to the tight spaces, and able to finish. When you see him there, very patient. Chanchar stepped up a little bit too much. Gave Skele the space he needed to get the shot off. And Slovenia calls a timeout, down 6. So Skele very aggressive off the bench. You see there the stats. Latvia 3 of 15 for 3. Slovenia just 2 of 11, not faring too much better. But Skele 2 of 6 already in just 8 minutes of play for the backup point guard. Meanwhile, Mesicek for Slovenia 1 of 5. So a couple of guys coming off the bench looking for their shot. You see the difference between 2s and 3s. Latvia doing a lot more of their damage closer to the rim, especially off dribble penetration. So we'll see if Slovenia is able to make a defensive adjustment, have a little bit more rim protection. We'll take a look at some of the highlights here. A lot of the points coming in the paint. That strong finish there from Strelniak, able to avoid the block from Vidmar. So Giannis Blooms checks back into the game. Here's Chanchar, hands it over to Mesicek. Another tough runner for the young guard, no good. And Myers running the floor. Tough passes, but ends back in Strelniak's hand. Blooms catch and shoot 3 from the other side. It's good again. Giannis Blooms 2 for 2 from 3. And the veteran making his presence felt, 36 years old. Still able to hit big shots for Latvia. The lead is now up to 9. Chanchar gets it to the lane, short on the fadeaway, and Ate secures the rebound. Here's Strelniak, another 3 for him. This time no good. Look at Ate hustle for the rebound. Tremendous hustle, but possession will still go over to Slovenia. Regardless, Ate getting applauded by his teammates and the fans as Edo Muric checks into the game for Mesicek, who had a long run there, 10 minutes. Obviously, Muric will look to step up here in the second quarter. And Rupnik right into the game, gets to the rim, on that layup. Nobody picked him up. Almost of a semi-transition look that time. Rupnik, who's really been a bright spot off the bench here for Slovenia. Here's Tima now on the block, looking to go at Chanchar. Good defense from the wing, and now a steal in the backcourt and a blocking foul on Shevchenko. So sloppy action from Slovenia. They do a great job to get the stop. And you see here, Rupnik wasn't expecting the double team to come. Strelniak able to draw the foul on Shevchenko. And Randolph, you can hear from the booze, back into the game. Here's Blooms, again, looking for some room. Randolph all over him. He did pick up his pivot foot, so a traveling violation on Blooms. Blooms always looks very intense on the court. So Rupnik, who's just done a better job running this game than Ribic here so far. And Muric inside to Randolph. Turn around, too strong. Probably should have dunked it. Randolph right at the rim. Strelniak's good crossover dribble, slips No travel violation. Clearly a wet spot there on the floor. Here's Timo. That's a tough pass. Not a really good angle. Numbers for Slovenia. Here's Randolph. This time he's able to finish the lay-in. So Slovenia converts defense to quick offense. Rubnik with a little no-look feed there to Randolph. And again, Rubnik, 9 points and 2 assists. So responsible for 13 of the 26 Slovenian points in the first half. We have another timeout here on the floor for Latvia. Latvia has picked up their shooting a little bit. They're at 40%. Meanwhile, Slovenia, you see the second chance points. Slovenia doing a lot of damage on the rebounding. They're up 22-14 overall, including 5 offensive rebounds, which has led to 12 second chance points for the Slovenians. Latvia doing a better job distributing the ball. 9 assists to the Slovenian 4. Again, 2 of those 4 coming from Rupnik. And again, Slovenia with 2 wins and 4 losses coming into tonight. This is definitely a do-or-die game for them, a must-win if they want to have any chance of qualifying for the World Cup. The defending European champions looking to climb up the standings, currently in 6th, need to get into the top 3 as only the 3 best teams from the 4 groups advance to the World Cup in China. Here's Tima on the baseline, little catch and shoot, no good. And Chebicek gets the rebound. Chanchar. They're going to call another foul on Grzoulis. As Chanchar's shot will not count, but Grzoulis just can't really help himself. He has 4 fouls, and he's only been on the court for around 2 minutes. So Grzoulis might set a record for fouling out. Quickest we've ever seen here in the qualifiers. Here's Randolph for 3 now. And it's good. Anthony Randolph knocks down the open 3. Silences the crowd, and he also brings Slovenia back to a 2-point deficit. Here's Tima looking to respond to 3 of his own. He does just that. Slovenia slow on the closeout, and Tima able to finally get his first field goal. Tima just 1 of 6. And Chanchar, can he respond? And back and forth we go. 3 for 3 for 3. As Chanchar, he took some time to come off the bench, but since doing so, been very productive. 8 points for Chanchar, including 2 threes. So Vidmar and Zakis will both check back into the game. Meanwhile, Strelnieks, who definitely hasn't been as aggressive as he was in the last window. And here he finds Silinch for 3, and it's another one. So 4 threes on 4 consecutive possessions in the game now. And we said we could feel that both teams are starting to heat up a little bit here going into the half. So we'll see who can finish second quarter with the most momentum. Rupnik pulls up and airballs a jumper. He's kind of suggesting the ball slipped. Strelnieks heads it off to Tima. And another steal, Muric and Tima back at it again. And this time Muric able to convert the layup. So he didn't learn from the last time in terms of dunking it, but this time Tima unable to really get the angle to get the chase down. So how often do you see that? Same defender, getting the same type of steal, and this time able to finish with an easy lay-in as Latvia calls another timeout. 36 seconds to go here in the half. You see Slovenia, 27 of the 34 points have come from bench players. Obviously with Rupnik, Chanchar, and Randolph all coming off the bench, that accounts for most of it.
If you have time, open pass, but look,
see the rebounding numbers. Slovenia much more aggressive on the boards. So Latvia will have, you see the Porzingis jerseys there in the stands, but Latvia will have a couple more opportunities to add to this halftime lead. Meanwhile, Slovenia, with a stop and a three-pointer, has a chance to go into halftime tied despite their shooting woes. So Strelnieks will run the show yet again. And Ate catch and shoot three once again. Latvia really heating up from beyond the arc. That is now their 7th three-pointer of the half, 7-20. And a foul against Ate will send Rupnik to the free throw line. See Ate frustrated with himself for committing that foul. And Rupnik has a chance to be the first player for either team to go into double figures on this free throw line trip. So he does just that on the first free throw. Two for two for Rupnik. And we'll see for the first time here tonight, number 39, Ajaj Bratec. Bratec, backup point guard, is 20 years old. And Slovenia, after committing just one team foul in this half, have a few fouls to give. So they can play this defense possession quite aggressively. And you see there, that's pretty much what Bratec is in the game to do, to ensure that Latvia doesn't get any clean looks at the basket. Yet Tima finds himself wide open for the corner three, no good. Gets his own rebound, and the second follow-up doesn't go in. Randolph ends the half with a rebound. So after 2 quarters, it's the home side, Latvia up 40-36 on Slovenia. We expected an intense game. It's been close throughout. Latvia had a 9-point lead at one point, their largest lead of the half. Meanwhile, Slovenia only managing to get a 2-point lead. Take a look at the stats. Latvia starting to heat up, both from inside and beyond the arc. Meanwhile, Slovenia doing a lot of damage from the free throw line. You see there 10 points. Rebounding numbers also favor Slovenia, but Latvia doing a much better job sharing the ball amongst themselves. 12 assists to just 5 for Slovenia. And Slovenia also guilty of a few unforced turnovers. You see there 10 overall. But fortunately for them, they only find themselves down 4. So we'll take a look at some of the highlights of the first half action. Again, Latvia able to convert those turnovers into 13 points off the turnovers. Slovenia, though, 29 points from their bench has really kept them in the game, as the starters only combined for 7 points. Meanwhile, Latvia has been in the lead for pretty much the entire half, 16 minutes overall. Slovenia just enjoying 42 seconds of lead time. And again, Group I here is the result of Groups A and B. The top 3 teams of each of those groups, which ended up being in Group A was Spain, Montenegro, and Slovenia. Slovenia finishing 3rd in that group behind Montenegro and Spain. Meanwhile, in Group B, we had Turkey, Latvia, and Ukraine advanced, with Sweden being eliminated. So Latvia currently sitting in 3rd place in the new Group I. So with a win here tonight, there's a chance to climb up. Meanwhile, in other action right now, Ukraine enjoying a 3-point lead over Spain in the 3rd quarter of that game. So Ukraine has a chance to upset mighty Spain. So we'll make sure we keep an eye on that game, as obviously every result counts in these qualifiers. And Latvia and Slovenia will do everything they can to ensure they finish at a top 3 spot. Still have 6 games to go, fortunately, throughout the windows. Meanwhile, elsewhere, also in Group I, Turkey and Montenegro are battling in Ankara. Turkey currently with a 9-point lead, 23-14 over Montenegro. So make sure that you continue to stay tuned here with us for the second half action, as all 6 teams in Group I currently playing here tonight. And then they'll play once again in a couple of days here on Monday. Giannis Blooms came off the bench and really helped lift up this Latvian team with 2 big threes. Meanwhile, we'll see if Strelnieks is able to be more aggressive and also more efficient in the second half. They'll be counting on him, as they always do. I'll also be curious to see if Coach Trifunovic makes any adjustments to the starting lineup in that 3rd quarter, considering that 29 of the 36 points have come from bench players. So potentially a chance for those bench players to start and finish the second half. We'll have to see. Welcome back to the Arena Riga here in Riga, Latvia. We're just moments away from the second half action. See there, Olan Zakis, the big man who had a few monster dunks, a couple layups there in that first half. A Latvian team led by Coach Arnis Vikvagars, who has done a good job to lead his team. 4 wins and 2 losses so far in the European Qualifiers. Looking to add a 5th one here at home. Meanwhile, as we were talking about before the halftime break, lots of action going on in the other games. A lot of people keeping a close eye on the Ukraine-Spain game. Ukraine still up 5 against Spain. Meanwhile, Turkey with a 10-point lead. Second quarter against Montenegro. And here it's Latvia up 4 against Slovenia. We'll see what type of adjustments each team was able to make at halftime. For Slovenia, the main concern was their shooting. 11 of 30 overall for 36%. 4 of 13 from 3. If it wasn't for their 10 of 12 performance from the charity stripe, the free throw line, they would probably be down a significantly more amount of points. And they also were able to pretty much dominate the rebounding, as they have a 23-16 advantage on the glass. Meanwhile, for Latvia, 15 of 36 overall, 42%. They knocked down 7 threes, and that's part of the reason they enjoy a slim lead here now. So we'll see who both coaches bring out to start off the second half. And you see Anthony Randolph does make the insertion into the starting lineup for the second half. Meanwhile, Ribic will start back at the point guard position, so Rupnik will still be coming off the bench. Rapornik, who's been pretty quiet, just 5 minutes of play, no points. And then Chanchar also into the starting lineup. So a couple changes for Slovenia. Meanwhile, Latvia, same starting 5 at the start of the game. And here's Vidmar, first touch right away. And he's able to lay it in. Nice feed inside there from Chanchar. You saw Sidlich and Myers trying to front Vidmar, but no help side defense. So quick start, 2 quick points. And Sidlich can't knock down the 3. Chanchar with the rebounds. See a lot of action going through Gasper Vidmar. Crab dribbles to the middle. Tough shot. And he's able to get the putbacks. Another second chance opportunity. Gasper Vidmar, absolute beast inside. Just basically pushes Myers out of the way. Napornik all over Strelnieks. Nice little strip. Ball will stay with Latvia. 7 seconds left. We are tied, obviously, here at 40. You see Lapornik swipes his hand. Seems to make a little bit of contact. No whistle. Here's Ate. He pulls up for 3 yet again. And Artis Ate with his 3rd three-pointer. See Ate also a good on-ball defender, as the ball will go inside to Vidmar yet again. Another spin move. We saw that early on. A little extracurricular activity. And Vidmar, never one to back down from a physical challenge, goes right at Mayers. Cooler heads prevail. No shoving, no punches thrown naturally. Obviously, these two teams, you see Mayers also holds his ground. And that's why you gotta love basketball, the intensity here. No harm truly done, no technical fouls. But it will be a defensive foul on Mayers. And they may actually call. You see the Italian referee sharing his perspective with two big men, and that's what you want to see. Slap of the hands of sportsmanship. So there will be a technical foul on Latvia. And Mayers gets called for the unsportsmanlike. So 2 free throws awarded to Vidmar. And Mayers will also come out of the game. So that's the tough sequence of events for Mayers as he picks up the defensive foul as well as the unsportsmanlike foul. Vidmar, though, missing the first free throw. One for 2 for Vidmar. Slovenia will keep the ball here. Chance to add more points. Still down 2. Again, Ate harassing the ball handler. And once again, the shot clock is not properly set. So the referee letting his colleagues know that he has it. Chanchar will inbound. Gets it back from Vidmar. And again, they look to go inside to Vidmar. Zakis, can you do a better job? Solid defense, shot clock winding down. Chanchar has to put it up. It's an air ball. And ball will go back over to Latvia. So again, Slovenia executing quite a different offense than many saw last summer, but obviously without Dragic and Doncic, different looking team. Here's Zakis looking for the high-low to team up. Strelnieks gets into the lane. Silic, another 3. Again, no good. He's been pretty cold. And they call the foul inside on Lapornik as players are battling for the rebounding position. Here's Ate. He's 3 of 4 from 3. Strelnieks, little scoop layup, no good. Oh, the follow, still no good. 2 chances there for Zakis and Tima. Neither one able to convert, but the good hustle leads to another chance here on the possession for Latvia. You see Strelnieks, he can't finish. Zakis right at the basket, also misses the lay-in. And Ate, nice reverse move. Able to put the proper spin on the ball. 2 more points for him. He's played a great game. Ate, the first Latvian player in double figures. And another turnover for Slovenia. So 11 points now for Ate. Vidmar with 10. You see Chanchar just dribbles the ball off his foot. So lack of concentration leads to the turnover. As Lomash checks back into the game for Tima. Tima's also been quiet. And it's another turnover, or at least it looked like a turnover. I'm not sure if a Slovenian player touched it. So the ball will go back the other way. And Rebic really needs to get going here. Still scoreless, has 1 assist. And the referees a little bit tighter with their whistle now. Definitely don't want these teams to be too aggressive. Here's Vidmar, a lot of room to work. Ribic pulls up for three. Oh, big shot that time from Matic Rebic for his first basket of the night. And he cuts the lead down to 1. Here's Lamash. Strelnieks pulls up. He can't finish. Randolph gets the rebound, and Slovenia looking to push here. Here's Rebic, gets all the way for the easy lay-in. And the Latvian players just stopped playing defense. So Latvia gives up the lead, I believe, on that one. And Slovenia up top now by 1. So a strange little turnaround as Ribic, 5 quick points. And Lomash draws another foul on Lapornik. So Ate will come out of the game. And Mesicek back in. Vidmar showing a little bit of hustle there. And Latvia keeps the possession. So on the floor for Latvia, we have Ate, Lamash, Silinch, Strelnieks, and Zakis. And Strelnieks able to re-secure the lead for Latvia on the mid-range jump shot. Here's Blaž Mesicek. Ribic feeling a little bit more confident now. Takes another three. Another big shot from Matic Ribic. And that's 8 points in quick succession for the point guard. I did say that he needed to step up, and he's done just that as Zakis misses another layup. Slovenia looking to run the floor now. Here's Randolph. Transition three from the wing. Can't hit, but Chanchar's there for the rebound. Stripped away by Latvia. Strelnieks crossover dribble, and Vidmar commits the foul to prevent the fast break from turning into any kind of points. Second foul there for Vidmar. And Tima, who didn't spend too much time on the bench, will check back in as Slovenia now with a 2-point lead, matching their largest lead of the night. Strelnieks, a little bit too much room, but he can't finish. Strelnieks now just 3 of 10 from the field. Again, came in averaging close to 27 points per game in his first 2 European qualifiers. See double high action here. Rebic finds Randolph. He jabs inside to Vidmar. Nice quick spin. He loses the ball on the way up. Latvia 3-on-2. Strelnieks, Skillet, thought about the three. Thought too long. Now Slovenia back down the other way. So the game is definitely opening up now. And Rebic all the way to the basket, can't finish. Mesicek gets the rebound, pulls it back out. So Slovenia, with that much time to regroup, shot clock under 5. Randolph pump fakes, gets to the basket and draws a foul before the shot clock expires. So 2 free throws here for Anthony Randolph. You see the pump fake, got Silinch off his feet. And then he's able to draw the foul on Zakis, who was a little late there on the help side rotation. And you see Coach McVargars ask why. Zakis thought he had the verticality. So 2 free throws to come here for Randolph. First one is good for the LSU Tiger, former LSU Tiger. So Randolph now with 8 points on the evening. And Slovenia up 4 Skillet finds a little seam, can't finish the layup. Latvia doing a great job getting to the basket. Skillet gets it back though, and this time he's able to finish. So Slovenia had a chance to go back the other way, turned it over in the backcourt. As I was saying, Latvia doing all the hard work getting to the basket, just missing layups. A Repic way out there. Bit of a questionable shot selection that time, and that's going to bring Miric off the bench. Oh, the pass was forced inside. Here comes Mesicek. Turns the corner. Chanchar, catch and shoot three. No good. Randolph. Good hustle for the rebound, but it ends up in the hands of Vic Vargas, the coach's son, into the game. Number 20 there, top of the key for the first time. And another clean strip. So we went from good play to sloppy play. And Mesicek takes it all the way to the basket and misses. And you can see the fatigue starting to set in now. And it's going to be a unsportsmanlike foul. And Zagarac, who seemed to halfly make a play on the ball, but they're going to call unsportsmanlike. So 2 free throws and possession. Again, in FIBA, you are not allowed to commit fouls just to slow down the fast break. You see there, doesn't make any effort on the ball. So you're essentially punishing quote-unquote lazy defense. Zagarac, I'm sure didn't mean to be unsportsmanlike, but 2 free throws to come here for Tima. And Tima, who's struggling tonight, just 1 of 10 from the field, but does get his 4th point at the free throw line. So 2 for 2, and we are tied back up at 51. So under 3 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Skillet. And the first shot is good for Vic Vargas. So Latvia back up front. And a foul. It's going to be on either Skillet or Myers. And free throws to come. As you see here, Mayers. You see Coach Trifunovic asking for the unsportsmanlike, doesn't get it. So 4 fouls now on Martins Mayers. And Grzoulis, who checks back into the game, 4 fouls in just 3 minutes of play. And the first free throw drops in for Blas Mesicek. So he stays perfect from the free throw line. Here's Vegvagars running the point now. Nice backdoor cut. Skillet lays it in. So we've seen that before. A beautiful delivery from Vegvagars. Miric, Zagarac, Rupnik, who we haven't called in the second half, but can't finish that layup. Tima for 3. Oh, big shot from Giannis Tima. He's been quiet, but he knocks down his second 3 of the night. Give him 8 points total. And you see Zagarac a little late on the closeout, and Tima doesn't need much room. He's a confident player, very, very talented. And Latvia back up 5. So elsewhere in Group I, You take a look at the bench stats. Slovenia now with 33 points from their bench players. Latvia, though, catching up at 22. But Ukraine gives Spain their first loss of the European qualifiers. Spain now 6-1. Ukraine with a big victory at the Palace of Sports. They were led by Mikhailuk, Svi Mikhailuk, obviously the Los Angeles Lakers now finished with 22 points for the Ukraine. A lot of new faces on that Spanish team. So that does mean that Ukraine moves to 4-3, which makes this game that much more vital for both Slovenia and Latvia. Trying to keep pace with the rest of the group, and a nice steal there from Team Up. As you see the press out of the timeout, threw Slovenia off. And we'll see if Latvia's able to capitalize on that turnover. Skillet, three, no good. Battle for the rebound, ends up with Vidmar. Quick outlet to Randolph. Randolph in transition, no contact, no whistle. And Randolph, as he was falling out of bounds, threw the ball off the Latvian defender. So Slovenia will have more time now to get a better shot. Shot clock at 10. Here's Rupnik. Room for the three. Big shot once again for Rupnik. Luka Rupnik with 14 points leads all scorers. Again, the point guard off the bench. And right back, another basket for Vek Vigars. Here's Muric. Ball inside to Vidmar. See the dive there from Randolph. He's got a mismatch. Miss a check. Oh, strong take to the rim. And the young guard finishes strong at the basket. You see there, smooth finish from Misicek. Crossover, Vigars. Skillet leaves his feet. Dangerous play, stolen by Rupnik. And he smartly pulls it back out as the third quarter winds down under 10. Rupnik asking for the screen from Vidmar. No look pass. Muric can't finish the and one, but another nice play from Luka Rupnik as he found the cutting Muric. And 2 free throws now from Muric and a chance to tie the game going into the fourth quarter. You see the nice no look pass. Tima bid on the pump fake. So Muric connects on his first. And again, Slovenia 16-19 now from the free throw line. Latvia just 5 of 6. So not only doing a great job of getting to the free throw line, but also converting. And the long pass deflected away from Randolph, but still 0.9 left here in the third. Timuk pump fakes, long three, air ball as the third quarter buzzer expires. So after 3, we are tied 60-60 between Latvia and Slovenia. So be sure to stay tuned for what's going to be a very, very close fourth quarter, we'd imagine, between the European champions and the home side, Latvia. saw there. Make sure you download the FIBA World Cup app on your Android or iPhone devices. You take a look at the stats. 50% shooting inside the arc for Latvia. Slovenia knocking down a few more threes, but their free throws, the main reason they're still finding themselves in a position to win this game. We'll see some of the highlights from that third quarter action. And again, you can catch many of these highlights as well as top plays, articles, all the news on the FIBA World Cup app, as well as the FIBA World Cup basketball website. So 10 minutes left here in the game, 60-60. Meanwhile, Turkey is up 8 at halftime against Montenegro in the other Group I game. Again, these two teams will be back in action in a couple of days, as Spain will host Latvia on Monday night. Meanwhile, Slovenia will host Turkey also on Monday night. So, and of course, Montenegro and Ukraine will be the other matchup. But here in the fourth quarter, we'll see who can step up. Coach Arnis Vekvagars keeps his son out there, who's given them a nice contribution off the bench as well. We've seen a lot of bench players come in and step up. Here's Zakis. Can't finish through contact. Physical play here. Tima, great hustle. Keeps the ball alive, but throws it over to Mesicek. And then Skelet commits a foul in the backcourt. So on the floor for Latvia, we have Silic, Skelet, Tima, Vekvagars, and Sakis. Meanwhile, Slovenia, Mesicek, Muric, Anthony Randolph, Rupnik, and Vidmar. Here's Randolph, with Tima all over him. Inside to Vidmar, looking to go at Zakis. The jump hook short, but the ball, ends up with Tima. So 7 rebounds now for Giannis Tima. And a foul there on Rupnik. Referee doesn't want the high five from the player. And another foul, as Mesicek is trying to apply ball pressure, unable to do so without committing a foul. Referees once again looking to sort out a clock issue. Meanwhile, the Latvian fans staying engaged, of course. A tight battle. It's hard to describe this as a rivalry, but after last summer and then also the talent that both of these nations have, we can expect many tightly contested games to come here in the near future between the two. So the shot clock, putting 14 on that shot clock, and now we're ready to get back into it. Here's Skelet. Vekvagars, tough shot. He's short. Rupnik collects the rebound. Get the ball. Randolph pulls up for 3. In and out. Zakis screening for Skele. The runner, tough shot, but it drops. A bit of an unorthodox runner. See Skele. You can only imagine how much he's practiced that shot. Takes it with extreme confidence. And Latvia back up 2. Here's Rupnik now, looking to answer, can't. And they're going to call a foul on Vidmar as he and Simmons battled for the rebound. So Strelnieks back to the game. What would you assume be for the final push? Vidmar picking up his 3rd foul. So Latvia back up 2. Just over 8 minutes to go here in the 4th quarter. As Ribic checks back into the game again. He had a strong 3rd quarter, 8 points, which was part of the reason this team got back into the game. Meanwhile, Rupnik, a little bit frustrated, but he's definitely played a great game overall. He's got 14 points. Here's Tima now. He'll take a 3. He'll knock down the 3. Giannis Tima, clutch shot here in the 4th quarter. So he's now in double figures after knocking back-to-back 3s. He's got 11 points, 7 rebounds, just on 3 of 13 shooting, but a lot of those points coming here in the 2nd half. Here's Metashek. He'll take a 3. He can't answer. And Ribic ends up with the ball. He can't finish it. Vidmar, offensive rebound, another one. Takes his time. A little bit sloppy, throws it away. Here is Tima leaking out, throws down the easy dunk. What a turn of events as the hustle for Latvia leads to the easy deuce. You see Strelnieks gets on the ground, ends up with Skele's hands, and Tima, who had leaked out early, here's the uncontested throwdown. So timeout, Slovenia on the floor. Tima now with 13. Skele with 10 for Latvia. And Ate with 11. So those 3, the only ones in double figures for Latvia. Meanwhile, Slovenia led in scoring still by Rupnik with 14. Vidmar with 10. Randolph, Ribic, and Chanchar each have 8, as well as Mesicek. See the points in the paint pretty even. Slovenia still shooting just 35% from the field. Meanwhile, Latvia at 42%. You see the fast break points. They haven't come too easily, but those 2 from Tima on the last possession will just probably be the 2 easiest ones he's had all night. But Skeles played a nice floor game off the bench. You saw the runner. You see these back-to-back assists here to Tima. So Skele in just 16 minutes coming through, making an impact. He has 7 assists as well to go with his 10 points. So Slovenia need a basket here. It's going to be Muric catch and shoot 3. Oh, it's a big shot there for Ido Muric. Timely corner 3. That cuts the deficit back down to 4. And Rebic all over Strelnieks. Tima, nice roll. Zakis. Randolph swats it away. Nothing easy. Great rim protection that time for Anthony Randolph. As you see, Zakis should have gone up for a strong dunk instead. It ends up in the first row, courtesy of Anthony Randolph. Oh, nice cut, and this time Tima lays it up and in. Great out of bounds execution. Tima circled his way around the Slovenian defense. Gets the uncontested layup. And the foul there on Silic. Second team foul on Latvia here in the fourth quarter. Fourth foul on Silic, who been quiet on offense, just 1 of 6 and 3 points. Still playing heavy minutes. Metashek, little hesitation. Can't quite get around Zakis. Looking for Vidmar. Double team comes. Randolph thinks about it. Dribble pull up, in and out. Vidmar, strong rebound here. Randolph again, same shot. Different result as he coolly knocks down the long range 2. Anthony Randolph really heating up here. He's got 10 points. Skelet, again, so patient with his ball handling. Strelnieks, who's been so quiet here in the second half. Skelet takes the long 3 off the back rim. Tima has room, pulls up, and it goes over the backboard out of bounds. Tima pleading for the foul as Blooms and Ate will check back into the game. Replacing Silic. And Ate always in the game to harass the point guard. So Randolph will bring it up, guarded by Tima. Near push off. There's Muric. Randolph slips and seemed to be in a little bit of agony as the wet spot took him down. And we'll see if they call it travel or a jump ball. You see there, he loses his footing, kind of just stays over the ball. So Randolph in a little bit of pain, kind of did the splits on that slippage. So obviously they're gonna wipe down the floors, make sure it's safe for all the guys. Slovenia still down 4. Plenty of time. The possession stays with Slovenia. And Tima out of nowhere now with 15 points, 5 of 16 shooting, also 8 rebounds for Giannis Tima. And here's, they're gonna call a foul before the shot. No basket there for Randolph. Rebic, very quick off the dribble. So both teams now with 3 team fouls. Tima picks up his second personal foul. There's Vidmar now again. Takes his time on the block, quick spin. Under the basket, bullies his way through, no foul called. Great defense that time from Zakis. You see the flex yet again. And the fans were happy with that defensive effort, and Rebic commits an unnecessary foul, putting Latvia that much closer to the bonus. So in these last 5 minutes of the fourth quarter, we will come down to execution as Chanchar comes back in for Mesicek. Tima, another 3. Again, too strong, gets his own rebound. And here's Ate, pulls up for 2. He can't finish. So multiple chances and no payoff that time for Latvia. Here's Rebic, gets it to the lane, nice layup able to avoid Ate, got him on the hip. So Rebic now in double figures with 10. And that's going to bring Mayers back off the bench to replace Zakis. Oh, still Vidmar able to get to the basket, and they call a foul on Tima, who thought he had a clean swipe at the ball. Fortunate to not be called for unsportsmanlike. We always know in those situations, it's Vidmar. Gets into the passing lane, dribbles all the way. And we see right, not too much contact, but based on the referee's angle, felt the need to blow the whistle. So Vidmar now at the free throw line. He's 2 of 4 so far here tonight. Chance to tie it up. Knocks down the first purely. Really balanced scoring here from Slovenia tonight. Vidmar with 11. Can't hit the second one though. Rubnik still with 14 points, leading the way. Rebic has to be careful to not commit a foul here. He's hounding the point guard. They're looking for Strelnieks. It's a couple of screens, pulls up for 3. Big shot, Giannis Strelnieks yet again. He's been quiet here in the second half, but picks the right time to go into double figures. He's got 11 now. Vidmar back inside. Again, he's been getting double and triple team below the rim, so he'll head back to the free throw line. See the nice high-low pass there, Randolph. And Vidmar, who's always patient, draws a foul on Blooms. So we'll see if Vidmar can fare a little bit better on this trip. It's 3 of 6 overall. Too strong on the first. But he knocks down the second, so he stays at 50%. Slovenia down 3 as they just wipe the ball down. A little wet ball. Three minutes, 52 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. Latvia, 4 wins and 2 losses, looking to go to 5 and 2. Meanwhile, Slovenia 2 and 4, looking to pick up their 3rd victory. They're going to need to put some stops together here down the stretch. There's Strelnieks again. Looking for a little bit of space. Draws a foul before being knocked down to the ground. So 2 free throws to come here for Strelnieks. Vidmar picks up his 4th. First free throw is good for Strelnieks. Again, he hasn't missed a free throw in the qualifiers. Or at least coming into the game. Tonight he's now 4 of 5. And a violation on the inbounds as Chanchar commits the turnover as he's looking for Anthony Randolph. A little backcourt pressure from Latvia forces the turnover. And you see Chanchar steps forward over the line. That is illegal. Here's Blooms. And another foul. Top of the key, Rebic is just too close to Strelnieks. And Trifunovic not happy with that call. Strelnieks back to the free throw line. Misses the first. So 2 missed free throws for a player that came in shooting 100% from the free throw line. Connects on the second. You see the packed house here at the Arena Riga in Latvia. Latvia up 6. Rebic almost throws it away. Good hustle there from Blooms. Got the initial deflection, almost got the save as well. Rebic leaves his feet, which is always dangerous as a passer. So we'll see who gets the touches down in these last few minutes for Slovenia. Do they play through Vidmar? Do they play through Randolph? Is it Chanchar who steps up for 3? Back rim. And Tima gets yet another rebound. He's now got a double-double. 15 points, 11 rebounds. Ate thought about it. Back to Strelnieks. Tima, good closeout there from Randolph. And Tima still takes the 3 and shoots it right in his mouth and stares him down. Giannis Tima is playing a phenomenal second half of basketball. You see Randolph all over him. Tima uses the jab step to clear up a little bit of space and hits the 3 to give Latvia a 9-point lead. Giannis Tima. At one point, he was just 1 of 6, or 1 of 10, sorry. Since then, he's 5 of 8. He's got 18 points and 11 rebounds. Meanwhile, Strelnieks 14 points and 8 assists to go along with 3 rebounds and 3 steals. You see the shooting stats there. Latvia, 12 threes on the night, 12 of 35. Meanwhile, Slovenia just 8 of 26. You see the bench points again. 40 of the 69 Slovenian points coming from the bench players. So you see Strelnieks with the extra pass to Tima. That is not an easy shot, folks. Anthony Randolph had his hands up, but he put him down for just enough time to give Tima a chance to get the shot off, and you see there the stare down. So, Slovenia needs a basket, you'd imagine. You look for Randolph, can he respond? Too strong. Mayers gets the rebound, Vidmar commits the foul. So that will send Mayers to the free throw line. With a chance to add a couple more points here. Give Latvia their first double-digit lead as Vidmar fouls out of the game. So Vidmar, 12 points, 7 rebounds before fouling out. Also committed 5 turnovers alongside his 5 fouls. Mayers clinks that first free throw. So 0 for 2 for Mayers. It's still Vidmar fouling out on the last foul. Here's Rupnik. He'll head to the free throw line as Blooms couldn't quite stay in front defensively. And obviously, if you're Latvia, you don't want to stop the clock while giving Slovenia a chance to put points on the board. And Rupnik is short on his first free throw. So Rupnik, who was 4 of 4 before that last miss. And he goes 1 for 2. And we see the backcourt pressure now from Slovenia, looking to speed up the game. Chanchar. And now it's Strelnieks with Rupnik on him. It's a screen from Mayers. Turns the corner and lays it in off the glass. A nice finish there from Giannis Strelnieks. Pushes the lead back to 10. And Rebic coming back. Chanchar thought about it. Rebic also pump fakes. Rupnik, corner 3. Oh, big shot there from Rupnik. They needed it. So it's back down to 7. Rupnik now with 18 points on the night to tie Tima to lead all scorers. So Silinch will check into the game to inbound. And nearly a turnover. Latvia looking to get it across. Foul there from Chanchar will send Atet to the free throw line. And now it's a question about Latvia knocking down their free throws. So now we have Atet, who misses the first free throw. That was actually Atet's first free throw of the entire European qualifiers. It's only his 3rd game. Atet came in averaging 2 points, 1.5 points per game. He now has 12 on the night after converting the second free throw. And Rupnik looking to push it. Randolph, it's a little room. His elbow jumper no good, and the ball will stay with Slovenia. So Atet giving them a bit of a unexpected contribution in the scoring column with those 12 points. 10 over his average. Meanwhile, the referees will take a look at the monitor, since we're in the last 2 minutes of the 4th quarter, to see who exactly the ball went off of. So instant replay now involved in FIBA play. You see here, it's always tough on those bang-bang plays. Typically, they'll reward you. It's tough to say, because usually you want to reward the defensive player for having inside position, and the offensive player who crashes over the back will usually knock the ball out of bounds. But in this case, they reward Slovenia for the hustle, and they'll get another chance to chip this lead down, except for Tima steals it away. Beautiful defense there from Giannis Tima, reading the inbounds pass. Will that do it? Here's Blooms. Thought about the 3. Content to just use up more clock. Strelnieks has to put it up. The floater, air ball, and they call a foul right before the shot clock expired. So tough break that time for Slovenia, who played solid defense for about 23.9 seconds before committing a foul. And now Strelnieks will get a chance to add a couple more points. Oh, never mind. There was a shot clock violation before the foul was committed. So Slovenia does get a stop. Here's Rupnik. Rebic, fadeaway 3. Again, too strong. And they've just been unable to connect on the outside shots here in the 4th quarter. Meanwhile, Latvia, under a minute to go, will once again just use up the clock. Slovenia not fouling. Tima kicks it back out. Strelnieks, Silinch for 3. That's no good. Rebic has to go quickly now. Also, point differential, always a factor. So a foul on the shot there will send Slovenia to the free throw line. So Latvia calls a timeout. The 8-point lead here once again. So just about execution down the stretch. See the field goals there. Slovenia just shooting 36%. See the steal numbers there. So Latvia, again, the game was tied at 60. Coming to the fourth quarter, Latvia with a 21-13 advantage here in the final stanza. And Rupnik at the free throw line looking to get 20 points on the night. And Rupnik, 25-year-old point guard. Came into the game. He's played all 6 games ahead of this one for Slovenia. Comes in as an 88% free throw shooter. And he's short yet again. So Rupnik, who was 4-4 at one point, now just one of his last 3. And he misses his first 2 of 3. So 1 for 3 for Rupnik. He had a great chance there to cut into this deficit. And Slovenia will look to trap. Instead, they commit a foul on Strelnieks. So instead of being down 5, Slovenia is still down 7 with those 2 missed free throws. Strelnieks looks to add to his total from the foul line. Make that point number 17 for him to go along with his 9 assists. Meanwhile, Skelet also 10 points and 7 assists. So both point guards really contributing here. 20 seconds left. Slovenia needs a quick one. Rebic back out to Randolph. Gets into the lane, little bump, no good. And that will likely do it as Latvia just gets the ball over half court. Deflected out of bounds with 4.5 seconds left. But Latvia will get the win here at home at the Arena Riga. And they call a timeout on the floor. So Latvia, maybe just to get a little bit more payback after last summer's loss to Slovenia. And also because point differential always matters down the stretch. You never know. We'll look to get one more basket here. Let's take a look at Coach Vekogar's huddle. See the leading scorers, 4 players in double figures for Latvia. Meanwhile, for Slovenia, also 4 players in double figures. So these Latvian fans will be treated to a home victory here in Riga. And they're doing the wave. So that's when you know things are going well, when the fans pull out the wave. So again, just 4 seconds left here, 83-74. Latvia will obviously look to execute one more play, potentially look for the three just to add more points. It's going to be Skele. Takes a long two, and that's just a dagger. 85-74. It's now a double-digit lead for Latvia. Skele hits a shot at the buzzer, and obviously, you take another look there. So Latvia comes out on top, 85-74. Big win here at home for Latvia over Slovenia. Obviously, it won't make up for the tough loss they had last year at the Eurobasket, but still a big win nonetheless in the qualifiers, 85-74. Latvia over Slovenia. So not too much bad blood between these two teams where they're able to come to half court, shake hands. Again, these two teams will be back in action against formidable opponents on Monday. Slovenia will head home to Ljubljana and host Turkey. As you take a look at the game stats there, Latvia doing a lot of damage inside the arc and as well as outside. Slovenia getting 21 points from the free throw line, but missing a number of key free throws in that fourth quarter. Rebounding numbers are even. Latvia still did a better job sharing the ball amongst themselves. Also, a number of key steals. Those 17 turnovers for Lithuania proved quite costly, as Latvia converted those into 16 points off of turnovers. Meanwhile, in terms of the leaders, you see there, Tima with 18 points and 12 rebounds. Rupnik with 19 points. Strelnieks also 9 assists to lead the way. Skele himself had 7 assists with 3 steals from Strelnieks. That one big block for Tima. Latvia led in scoring by both Strelnieks and Tima, 18 points apiece. Ate and Skele with 12. Meanwhile, for Slovenia, they were led in scoring by Rupnik off the bench with 19, Vidmar 12 points, Anthony Randolph and Rebic with 10 points apiece. So we'll take a look at some of the highlights of this Group I matchup as the fans exit the premises. A little bit of redemption for Latvia, Latvian basketball. Meanwhile, Slovenia are now 2-5 in their 7 games of these qualifiers. So they have quite a mountain to climb. Obviously still a lot of time left and a lot of games to play. So for Slovenia, they will still get 6 more games to play, as they'll play Turkey on Monday, and then in the window following that one, they'll get Ukraine and Latvia again, and then they'll play Turkey and Ukraine. So Slovenia does play Latvia one more time on the 2nd of December in Ljubljana. Obviously, in Group I, they won't play Spain again, nor will they play Montenegro again. In this new format of the Group A and Group B teams clashing together. Elsewhere in Group I, at the moment, Montenegro with having a tough time against Turkey. Turkey up 9, 71-62, under 6 minutes to go in that game. Turkey obviously featuring Cedi Osman and Furkan Korkmaz that we'll see on Monday. Also Ersan Ilyasova making his comeback to Turkey, as you see that big block from Randolph. So this game here did feature a number of highlights. That three from Team Up might have just done it, created enough separation between the two teams. The fourth quarter was completely controlled by Latvia as they win the final quartet 25-14, getting their highest scoring output. And we'll take a look here at the standings in Group I before we head out for the evening. Thank you once again for watching this FIBA broadcast. Make sure you tune in for all the rest of the European qualifiers ahead of the World Cup next summer in China. Thank you for watching. Good night.